gold shop in Mektila being looted by an angry mob. An argument over a piece of jewellery has brought Buddhists onto the streets. It's March the 20th, and the running sore that is Burma's ethnic tension is about to burst into the open once more. Among the crowd are monks. The police watch, hopelessly outnumbered, as the shop is torn apart. Muslim and Buddhist communities have lived in Mektila for generations, but times are changing and anti-Islamic sentiment is taking hold. The extraordinary thing about these pictures is that most of it was filmed by the Burmese police. Their footage provides the most comprehensive account we've seen yet of ethnic clashes in Burma, both how the violence unfolded and how the police failed to protect Muslim communities. Later that same day, a monk was attacked as he rode on the back of a motorbike. This man was the driver and says Muslims dragged the monk onto the ground before killing him. As news of the monk spread, tensions rose once more. Houses and mosques are set on fire as Buddhist and Muslim gangs roam the streets. In this shot, a man, almost certainly a Muslim, is on the floor. He's been set on fire. His body is charred, but he is still alive. Watching, but not helping, are several policemen. This is the next morning. The entire Muslim district of Mingalazai Yone is burning. The first day may have taken the authorities by surprise, but this is the second, and riot police have been deployed. And yet, they still do nothing. From the hillside, a crowd watch as people flee the fire and try to hide. Then a young Muslim man, perhaps only a boy, is forced into the open. One man's stick nearly breaks, and then a monk joins in the beating. Then the man in the white shirt steps in with a sword. He delivers what appears to be a fatal blow. At the same time, the police are at last taking action, escorting Muslim women and children away from their burning homes. After another day of violence and at least 43 deaths, the situation was at last brought under control. The Muslims that fled now live in camps or with relatives, but there's little prospect of them returning home. This is a country where Buddhists dominate every aspect of life. Creating a future where minorities like Muslims feel they belong could well be Burma's greatest test.
Well, we can speak to Jonah now. He joins us live from Singapore. And Jonah, that footage in your report, filmed last month, how representative is it, do we know, about what's going on in Burma at the moment?
Well, there have been several sectarian clashes in the past, ethnic clashes between different groups. This was a month ago. We know that Mektila now is a lot calmer. There is a much larger police and military presence there. Many of the people who were involved in that rioting have been detained and are now facing criminal charges. But Burma is in a phase of transition. It's moving from being a very tightly controlled military dictatorship to something approaching democracy, and this appears to be a moment of flux and a moment of opportunity for some groups who are trying to use that vacuum, if you like, to try and pursue their own agendas, and as we saw in Mektila, try and change the demographics on the ground and remove Muslims from part of the town.
And despite those horrific scenes that we've just been watching, it's still thought that the EU will lift the sanctions that were suspended a year ago permanently today. How much opposition is there to that move?
Well, human rights groups would like there to be more caution. They like the fact that there was a conditionality attached to the suspension last year that they said encouraged the Burmese authorities to keep pursuing the path of reform, but it does appear almost certain that the sanctions will be permanently lifted this afternoon. I think the equation that the European Union foreign ministers are making is that they want to reward and encourage the reformist elements within the Burmese government. They know that it's not going to be an easy transition. They know that there will be problems. They know there will be flare-ups such as we saw in Mektila, but by lifting sanctions permanently, they're hoping to reward the reforming elements and help push forward further change.
OK, Jonah, thanks very much.